What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ET Guitar YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about wireless in-ear monitors today. And it's a bit of a departure from my normal content. I think it's going to be the start of a mini series. I'm going to do just kind of honest gear reviews for the gigging musician, working title, but something in that vein. I gig quite a lot, but I'm more of an average Joe, gigging musician. I'm not doing stadiums or any massive gigs. Some gigs I can get away with a 100-watt Marshall and a 412. Very large room. That's awesome. I got a gig coming up pretty soon that's like that. Other gigs, like tonight's gig that I'm doing, is just smaller. It's a little bit more of a humble setup. Maybe a deluxe reverb is a better fit for that. Stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to explore gear as a gigging musician, expand my personal horizons, and take you guys along for the ride. So today specifically, we're going to be talking about the NUX B-7 Pro, which is a wireless in-ear monitor system. So if you're using in-ear monitors, this allows you to go wireless. I reached out to this company. Actually, they reached out to me originally, just seeing if there's any products they had that I was kind of interested in. And I was like, I want to explore wireless in-ears. Do you have anything for that? And they sent me this product, so we're going to check it out. I'm not being paid for this. They did send me it to keep, so that's important to know. But it's going to be an honest gear review based off of my actual experience. And I'm going to do more of these. There's a couple other items. I'm not just doing anything. These are very specific stuff that I use and have been trusting live, and this is no exception. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. On the workbench, we'll get an overview of the features, timestamps below, and then I have a gig tonight with it. I've already done a few gigs with it, and then we'll kind of talk about my thoughts after the gig is done. So let's get to the workbench. All right, here's the box. So I have been using this, but I just put it all back in here so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it might look like if you were to purchase it. Nice quality box, by the way. So we've got the unit itself, we've got the receiver, and then this is to kind of a cool way to mount it to like a pole or something, a little C-clamp as well. And here you've got the charger as well as another mounting bracket, and then you've got another piece here. I'll kind of just show you guys this one. So they use a little bit like a GoPro style, if you've ever seen that, where it's got kind of a bracket that fits in here that can swivel, and then this mounts like a tripod on the underside of the unit itself. Very cool, but I've just been putting on stage or off stage, just kind of sitting there. So let's take the unit out, take a look at it. It's always tricky to get out. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and put the box off to the side and take a closer look. So let's go ahead and start with the receiver itself. Nice and compact, small, lightweight. You can see it's got a little bit of wear on it now that I've been using it, but holding up pretty good. It is plastic, doesn't feel amazing, feels pretty light, but the clip is nice and solid. It's very simple. You can charge it directly with USB-C here. You got your plus and minus volume buttons, your power button. You can, I believe it's double tap it to mute it. And then this is just the indicator to show if it's connected to the send here. And then also your battery. It's not like a bar style where it shows like you got 4 bars, 3 bars, just kind of a green is good sort of style. And then obviously you plug in your in-ears to that directly. This is the coolest part though. So this is a magnet and a wireless charging port or whatever you want to call it. And I'll just show what that looks like right here. So it is so stinking strong. I'm going to lift this whole unit just by the receiver, just from the magnet. And this unit right here is solid. So this is metal. This thing is got a nice weight to it. It feels really high quality, actually. Metal all the way around. There's the little tripod style mount I mentioned before and the little rubber feet on the bottom. So yeah, this thing is really compact and solid. And having this mount like that to not only charge it, but just for like storage purposes is awesome. It makes it so much easier to have this as just one compact unit versus having two kind of this thing just floating around, potentially getting damaged. One thing I will say I kind of wish is it came with a little bag or something for it, but that's fine. I literally just put it in a gig bag like this, a little mono M80 style gig bag with the pocket. It fits just fine like that in there, no problems whatsoever. So we'll get onto that in more sec. Let's just take a look at the sending unit. Yeah, so these are the antennas here. I will say it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. So apologies for that. And apologies if you're going to get any reflections. It's hard with black reflective. But yeah, you got your headphone out here. I'm not exactly sure why you need that, but it's there. I did just update the firmware too. So when I got it, it was V1.0.1 and then is now V1.0.6. We'll go ahead and turn this on just so they connect. So just hold the power button. You can see that, and then they'll connect here. So now they're connected. Cool. Put that off to the side for now. So you got your input and output levels, and then this just adjusts your volume, which you can also do with this guy right here. Nice and handy, very simple. And then you can pan. I'm not sure the use case for what you need for that, but you can pan. Now let's go to the back first. So on the back hand, you've got 2 stereo combo jacks, which is awesome. Sometimes you need quarter inch, sometimes you need XLR. That's great. Mono if you want to go right there. Aux in if you want to pump in music or something. This is a wireless setup, which is kind of the main point of it, but you can plug it directly into the wall if you want to just make sure it's good through the gig if you got a really long gig. Though I do have a 3-hour gig tonight, and I'll talk more about my experience after that. And then this is to update the firmware, as well as you can actually connect this to your phone and say video record with the audio being your in-ear mix, which is very cool. I've tested that and it does work. So that's the back. It's so simple, which is what I really appreciate about this thing. So going back over here, kind of keeping that theme of how simple it is. This is your menu. It's very basic, bare bones. So display, you can just do little stuff like brightness. You can change the boot up picture for some reason if you want to do that. And then this is your latency setup. So you can go low latency, in between, or stable. So basically that just means stable. It's gonna be have the highest latency, but the least chance of dropouts or anything like that. And then low latency, obviously pretty self-explanatory. I cannot tell a difference between these in the real world. So the latency is not a problem whatsoever. And I am someone that's fairly sensitive to that sort of thing, and it's no problem whatsoever. So you can keep it on stable. I don't know why, I've always kept it in the middle and have never had a problem. So that's that. Input output, just if you want to go stereo or mono. And then your phone levels, that's for the phone port, obviously. And then aux in, same thing. EQ, this is a new feature they just added in this update. And unfortunately, I reached out to them about this, NewX. Unfortunately, it's not a graphic EQ. It's a couple presets. Now, I think the point of this was kind of more to tackle if you're a singer and you got in-ears and you kind of hear your own voice in your head and it can get a little muddy and stuff and kind of get those low mid buildup. This is more, I think, for that. So cutting, 300 hertz and below or 500 hertz and below, which is called kind of low mids and mids. And then here you can do either, but also boost 2K or boost 5K. Now, what my recommendation to them is, I sent an email feature request, is to make it a graphic EQ or an advanced setting or something so you can dial it in. Sometimes you got to use in-ears that are really spiky or bright. Sometimes your mix is a little wonky and it's just got so much low end all of a sudden. We've all been in those situations in live gigs where suddenly the mix sounds like it changes and you don't have a way to go to the sound guy to tell them to adjust it, and maybe you can't adjust it yourself. So having it on the unit would just be nice. It's just a nice feature to have kind of in the back pocket. So yeah, I would say just do a 5-band or, want to be crazy, a 10-band EQ, and then just have it so you can kind of scroll over, click, and it goes to the next band and just kind of go that way. Should be fairly easy for them to do if they want to, and I think that'd be really nice to have. Phase, another new thing they added. I have no idea why you would need this, but you can flip the phase of your monitor mix. I guess if you've got monitors on stage wedges and it's bleeding in and it's causing some weird, cancellation, I guess maybe, but that's kind of niche. So I'm not really sure. And then the other stuff is what it is. So yeah, the unit is very simple. And I just love this. This is so cool. I just love that. You can see it's charging right there. And so I've got a gig tonight. Let's go ahead and pack it up for the gig. Oh, real quick, I'll just show price too. So currently it's $320 on Amazon as of today. Looks like a regular price about $350. So it's very competitively priced. A lot of wireless systems get quite expensive. But let's just try it in the real world. So I've already done a few gigs with it. We'll do one more tonight, and then I'll give you my recap of the thoughts. So let's get to it. All right, a little loud, but hopefully you can hear me. So we got the rig here. We're using the 64AC10 SRT over there. And then I've got the B-7 Pro right here, all hooked up and working great so far. So should be good. Transmitter right there. So let's see how it goes.
We're about at half battery, and I started at 10. It's now 12:23, and it's been on this whole time. So yeah, that's really good. Very impressed.
All right, let's talk about the new B-7 Pro. After I've used it at a number of gigs, you guys saw a couple clips of it. It's been flawless for me. I've had no issues whatsoever, no dropouts, no glitches. It's just been super solid, which is fantastic. I did have one little thing pop up when I was setting it up for this most recent gig. I accidentally activated the mute setting on the receiver. I believe you double tap the power button and it automatically mutes the monitor mix. So I think it's for, if there's suddenly a loud noise or the sound guy is adjusting gain and you just want to protect your hearing. I'm assuming that's what it's for, just as a quick way. But I did not know how to get out of the mute setting. That's just user error on my part. Just had to do that again and it undid it. So yeah, this will show red as well and show mute on the screen. That was one little glitch when I was setting it up. I was like, oh crap, I got no mix. What's going on? It says mute. What do I do? Took 2 seconds to fix it. That was really the only hang up I had, which is saying something. Absolutely no problems. That's great. No latency issues. That's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. In the real world, I couldn't notice anything. I did try stable and low latency modes. All sounded perfectly great. Just stuck it in the middle like I showed you guys on the bench just because, I don't know, that just seems like a good place to be. Battery life, fantastic. So I think in the, I got a little clip showing, 2 hours in or so, and it had more than half battery, if I remember correctly. So in, again, the real world, I'm not really sure you're ever going to be in a situation where the battery might not be enough. Now, so even with the long gigs, we do like a 2 hour straight gig, we'll have a, little break between the third set, for example. So I always just put this on the charger and just charge it immediately afterwards. So I've never run that straight without any battery like I have the base itself. The base is totally fine. I don't remember off the top of my head what the estimated battery life is for the receiver. But in my experience in the real world, it's certainly long enough. Never had any issues, never got close to running out. So never even got to low. So that's all good. Build quality is fantastic. Price point I think is solid. So what can be improved? Let's talk about that. God, I love the size listing. Oh, this was the rig I used too. 64 AC10 SRT and a Celestion 100 Alnico, one of their new speakers. Probably more of that on the channel to come, so stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll do a review of that one. But back to this. So really, there's only 3 things I could think of that come to mind that would be nice to change. First, I would say come with some kind of little bag or something. So it's such a compact, nice little unit. It'd be great to have it come with a little carrying case or something so you can have it all protected. Does not have that. They may sell one separately. I'll put on the screen now if they do. But either way, that'd be nice to include with the package. So that's 1. 2, I would say having the graphic EQ as a software update, as a master EQ for your monitor mix. To me, that seems like a no-brainer, easy thing to do, and would really just give you just a little extra confidence that you can tweak it just right on your end. You might have the monitor, we've all experienced this. If you played live, you have the monitors dialed in and then you get one set in and all of a sudden things start changing. What's going on? The bass is just extra loud or the top end, all of a sudden it's getting really shrill. Being able to just adjust that on the unit itself would be so nice. It doesn't cost anything. It should be pretty easy to implement. So hopefully NUX will do that. The third thing I would say is it would be great to daisy chain more of these receivers to one of the transmitters. Now, I understand they want to sell these as a complete unit, totally fair. And nobody wants to share a monitor mix if they don't have to. But that being said, there are situations where it would be nice to be able to hand somebody, for example, you have a guest coming on for just a couple songs. You have no wedges on the stage. So what do they use for a monitor? Well, being able to just hand them another receiver daisy chained off of one single monitor mix, maybe it's a lead singer's monitor mix or something, would be great. Just such a nice little handy thing. Here you go. You're good to go. If you have big gigs, festival gigs, whatever, you'll have a dedicated monitor guy and he can hook you up with that. No problem. They'll have extra wireless packs for you. But again, if you're more of a smaller scale gigging band, that would be a handy feature to be able to just, even as a backup, somebody else's monitor mix goes down. Hey, you got this as a backup. So yeah, I think that would be a cool feature to add. Other than that, I don't really have any other notes for it. It's very simple, which I love. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, in the real world, it's just solid. Really solid piece. With that, I think we'll go ahead and close here. I've got really nothing else to say. It's a solid unit. I'm going to continue to use it in my live rig. I recommend it to you guys if you're interested in something like this. I think it's a good solution for a good price. Again, I just love this thing. Feels so solid and quality. The transmitter itself, really impressed by it. So I'll put a link in the description below for Amazon affiliate link. I get a little kickback if you purchase from there, which is always helpful if you want to support me. I'm going to do more videos like this. You know, things, again, this is honest gear reviews. I used to do a few of these on the channel if you go way back. I'm going to bring it back. Again, specifically focusing on stuff as a gigging musician, what you can use, what I recommend, and even stuff that I don't like. We'll get into that as well in the future. So if you want to see more of that content, subscribe for more. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time, see you guys.